between the lists, depending on what you're trying to do, and then go through the items in each of the lists. And that is what AccessJax, one of the things that AccessJax can provide. So I'm going to enable AccessJax and repeat the same query.
You muted?
No, hang on, I'm just loading it.
Plants, gift basket delivery, 1-800-Flowers.com. Welcome to 1-800-Flowers.com, the world's one online florist. Be sure to visit our summer garden.
So notice how it started speaking both the title and the snippet, and you heard both of those things together. Now, instead of trying to hunt around for the next result, I can simply press a key and get there. So now I'm going to go.
Send flowers, plants, and gift baskets. Flower delivery from.
And I can keep doing this.
Flower, create your send fresh flowers.
And now you'll notice that I am at the bottom of the page of results. Now remember earlier I had mentioned that if you want to try to get to the next page, you'd have to tab multiple times. But if you think about the task at hand, what you're really trying to do when you go to the next page is you're just trying to get the next result. So logically, if you press the same button to go next, then when you hit next at this point, it should just take you to the first result on the next page and just do it for you. And that's what it will do.
Flickr, flowers, Flickr is almost.
So notice how when the next page loaded, it immediately spoke the first result. So as an end user, your mental model now isn't about, well, a result page has 10 results on it, and now that I'm on the 10th result, I need to hunt for the next page link, and I need to click that, and I need to find the first result. Your mental model becomes simplified, and you just need to think, well, I want to get the next result. You press the key for the next result, and you hear it, and it's just right there. Now, I'd mentioned that sometimes you might want other categories. For example, sponsored links if you're trying to order flowers. So I'm going to show you going through the different categories and traversing within a category.
Sponsored links. Related searches. Alternate search categories. Results. Sponsored links.
Okay, so I'm going to go through the sponsored links on this page.
City of flowers, flowers and gifts for every hop, same day, fine garden, flowers at fresh.
And you'll see I can do the same sort of navigation with that.
Are you doing tabbing?
No, I'm not doing tabbing. That's a very good question. With tabbing, you're jumping through all the focusable elements, and whereas with this, what you're doing is you're going through logical chunks.
So he's using cursor keys. So we're basically using the 4 cursor keys to do the navigation.
Yeah, we're using the arrow keys. So.
Yeah. Keyboard.
Yes, exactly.
Keyboard. Yes.
So now one of the challenges is, whether you're tabbing or doing this, when you reach the end of a page, to know that you've reached the end and that the next time you do this action, you've wrapped around to the top. Because if you're not sure about where you are on the page, then you could end up just looping forever. So you'll notice that as I was doing this, it was playing this little tick sound. So that's an ear con. And so we have different ear cons depending on whether you're traversing through items, traversing through lists, or if you've circled around. So I'm going to circle around here and you'll hear it.
Flower, leaf, flowers by City of Flowers, flower.
Notice that it made a blip sound that was different from the regular ticks. The other thing that you'll notice is that there's an enlargement of what you're currently viewing. So
related searches, alternate search count results. Emily Simon, flat.
So for example, I've brought up this search result, and if I wanted to magnify it, I can just press plus and I can make it larger. So you'll see that this is getting larger. But this is different from using a traditional magnifier tool because unlike a magnifier which enlarges the entire screen and can be a problem sometimes because you lose context of where you are overall relative to the rest of the page, when you do this, you're only enlarging the thing that you're interested in. And so you still have a sense of approximately where you are. Yes?
Does that also work in IE?
So right now, this will work in any browser that is ARIA aware and works with ARIA. So currently, IE doesn't support ARIA yet, but IE 8 is working on it. 8. So, yes. Okay. So with that, you've seen a basic demonstration of what AccessJax can do to enhance navigation of a complex web page. And you're probably thinking, okay, this is really cool. How can I do this for my web page? Or how can I do this for any web page that I'm interested in enhancing? And that's what the rest of today's talk will be about. So with that, let's go ahead and start. By the way, all of this stuff, all of this information is available online on the AccessJax homepage and on the tutorials. So I am going to go to the tutorial right now. So for tonight, what we'll be doing is we'll be applying AccessJax to Google Product Search. And we'll go through the whole thing from start to finish and show you just how you can do it on your own for any website. Now, first off, you need to do a little bit of setup on your machine to get all the parts that you need to build this. So as I had mentioned earlier, this technology relies on WayAria. And currently, a browser that supports WayAria, the best is Firefox 3. So I highly recommend getting a Firefox 3 Portable Edition because this is a sandboxed version of Firefox that you can download, unzip, develop on, and it's completely separate from your default browsing profile, so it won't change any of your settings or mess anything up. There are also no, Safari doesn't support it yet. WebKit is also working on it, but they don't have it just yet.
Today, just Firefox.
For today, yes. But all the other ones are working on it. So Opera, IE, and WebKit all have it in development. There are also several helpful extensions. So one of them is GreaseMonkey. Remember I had mentioned earlier that what you're running with AccessJax is you're just running JavaScript, and they can be inserted in a variety of ways. GreaseMonkey happens to be a very easy delivery mechanism because it will automatically load the script for you when the page loads. So it's a very helpful way of developing this. The other thing that's nice here is that, okay, so is everyone here pretty much familiar with XPath, or at least know of it somewhat? Okay, cool. So if you want extra help with XPath, then you can always Google for XPath tutorial, and there are several excellent ones that you can find that way. But okay, that's nice. So there's a tool for Firefox called XPather, and this allows you to use the DOM inspector so that when you click on an element on the page, it will then tell you what the XPath to that element is. So you can very quickly discover what all the XPaths are without doing too much work. There's also something called Event Spy. We won't be using it tonight, but it's very helpful for dealing with rich AJAX applications because it lets you know what the style changes are and which events are coming from which elements. And that's a very useful thing to watch for. And then there's Firebox because it's probably nice to get some spoken feedback just to hear the results of your work.
And so the advantage of prototyping with Firebox is that the way we've done the library, we've made sure that the speech feedback you produce will work consistently across all the screen readers that support ARIA. But Firebox basically gives you an end-to-end open source solution that you can prototype with. And so rather than doing the write once and debug under every browser, carried forth to write once and then debug on every browser with every screen reader, this gives you a way to write and debug against a open source free solution